everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they match up with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Browns heading out, and the pressure squarely on the shoulders of number 6 in his second season now with the Browns. The number 1 overall pick in 2018, Baker Mayfield. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now, rather than risk anything, Mayfield here, he's going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
180. Regular. Let him know. Hey, high 7. Watch 98.
A first down throw for Mayfield, eluding the pressure right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
180. Hey, watch the ball.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So here are the Steelers under longtime head coach Mike Tomlin. They will be led out by their 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, now in his 16th season, the veteran Ben Roethlisberger.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. First and foremost, they did win the game.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Roethlisberger, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now Landry. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10.
198. Watch 98. 98's the mic. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Woo! Watch twist. Watch twist. Joker, joker. Joker, joker.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Flush to his right. Finding Harris over the middle. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL, find soft spots and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Check. Check hot, hot, hot. Check 9, check 9. Check, check, check. Check, check, check.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. So the delay of game penalty field. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right
for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. An update from Denver. The Broncos, they've got the early lead over the Chargers. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And, they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. On 1st and 10, Mayfield over the middle to Beckham. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield, and he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. 7 yards there and a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 6-0 our score after one. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Mayfield brings them up 1st and 10, and he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Throwing, Mayfield over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st down, Mayfield. The quick slant caught. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Don't forget, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Pats and the Texans from NRG Stadium in Houston. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's supposed to be really cold up in Seattle as we've got the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field at 8:15 Eastern. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now this pass to Vance McDonald, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Samuels. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 42.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Roethlisberger throwing complete to McDonald. Oh, now he bowls him over. Room to run inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. He completes it to Bryant. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Dez Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath, a short pass like that? But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
After reviewing the play,
the offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Mayfield on first down. Steps away to his left. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
You ready? You ready?
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Now Parkey for the extra point. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Landry now on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. JPP cruising in for the sack that time. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
SOS. Slam. Hey, alert 33.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield escaping the pressure right. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the shit!
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
Hey, check 24! Check 24! Check 24! Check 24!
Watch out!
Mayfield flushed out right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half, Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Roethlisberger. And he's got Moncrief. Dante Moncrief. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Dante Moncrief, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hunt. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run again with Hunt. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. On 1st down, it's Hunt, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, Almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Forced out to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Mayfield looks to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard elsewhere, 3rd quarter in Denver. And what about the Broncos leading that game to this point? Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and break it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. TJ Carey right there in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
That one, 28 yards on the ground. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is
trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You can't just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from...
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Throwing on second and long. Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down again. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. From the gun, Mayfield. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. Buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for one here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Hunt. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Mayfield to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will.
Let's go. Let's do this.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run. This is Hunt.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt. And they'll indeed take a knee. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Parkey is good, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
White 80.
And we got Mike, number 2. Watch the screen.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Let's go, let's bring it.
Here's Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Browns, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.